What's up, Santiago? How you feeling?
Very happy.
What's up, Angel?
Hey, ready to ride these horses?
Look at that horse.
Dang, it's
Oh, you know we out here. What's up?
You gotta go.
Before beginning, I wanted to note that our first and second semester activities were switched, so you'll be seeing what we did for our 5-hour volunteering first. Moving on, for our first semester activity, we worked with Healing Hands Horsemanship. It's a non-profit organization based out of the ranch in Elk Grove. The organization uses funds earned from events such as their carnivals and riding lessons with children to raise money to support their rescued horses.
We chose Helping Hand Horsemanship because a fellow senior project group were in need of volunteers. This organization typically does not gain many volunteers, so we thought us joining would put less pressure on the other volunteers. There was a meeting for this volunteer event that explained the details of why volunteers were needed. At first we were quite skeptical on choosing this for our volunteer hours, but at the end we enjoyed the time we spent. We also loved the cause and their goal of getting children to ride horses, since this is not typically heard of. We thought it would be fun to be able to meet new people at West who we usually do not speak to, since there were also students from other classes. In all, we had to make new relationships and had a fun time.
Upon arrival, we met with the head of the Helping Hands horsemanship event, where she sectioned us off into 3 different groups that would help set up the event. So we mainly were focused on the cleanup area, where we got rid of the feces and distributed the hay that the horses would be eating during the event, while other group members were helping set up for the event. The other members helped with setting up bounce houses and the electric bull that the kids would be using during the event. As you guys can see, it was quite difficult or scary working with the horses face to face at first, but with time we got a little used to working with the horses, and it was quite interesting and fun working with the horses.
Look at the white horse. That's like a comb over. Look at it.
If it was like that, come on, Shanti, scrape that poop up. We got some horses.
This is Brownie, one of the few female horses in the ranch. She is a rescue horse that is far more calm and relaxed than the other horses. Working around her was actually really enjoyable due to her very passive and friendly nature. The area in which we worked on was the second biggest area in the ranch. It was prioritized because it was the area in which the mechanical bull would be located for the enjoyment of the little kids.
Who's looking at us?
This is the male horse of the bunch, Biscuit. As you'll see, he is more aggressive and a little dangerous to be around due to his younger age and him just being more territorial. The staff of Helping Hand Horsemanship warned us that he was more aggressive, but we knew not to bother him too much. In this clip, he tries to take me on one-on-one, but I get a little too scared and run away.
Angel the horse whisperer. Oh, yep. Oh! Yo, too. Oh yeah, he coming around. He about to swoop on you, bro.
What's that one game? The knockout game?
Go talk to that one. Go talk to that one.
I'm scared now.
I'll go talk.
Go ahead, something. What's y'all? Let's all talk to it.
Although I was nervous about my last interaction with Biscuit, I wanted to leave on a good note, so I tried going over to Brownie to make a connection with her. Although it was scary, it ended well.
Although Angel's experience with the horses were not that good, Brownie's very passive and charming nature made it easy to approach and pet her. It was quite interesting and actually really fun to get close to such a nice animal.
Being unable to link up with my group mates for our first semester assignment due to scheduling issues, I decided to work with Wayne, my old soccer coach and current soccer coach at John F. Kennedy High School, who would act as my mentor for 2 days to help fill up my backseat and trunk with Christmas dinners and presents for a total of 4 particularly large families in need. They otherwise most likely would not have been able to enjoy the holidays due to their lower income, and so this was probably my favorite of the 2 days I spent with Wayne, because in a sense, we were able to make families full of young children experience the true meaning behind the phrase, a Christmas miracle. The second day, Wayne and I met up with his wife from Cook Realty, who was donating backpacks to a 5th grade classroom at Bowling Green Elementary. We walked into the classroom apprehensively, seeing how the kids would react to such a grand prize. They were extremely excited, and we proceeded to play numerous board games with them on the whiteboard, puzzle games, and even gave away a few prizes that ultimately also helped put all of these kids in the Christmas spirit as well.
Do something cool.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're here at the Sutter's Landing skate park. It's about 7:20 in the morning and we're waiting for our mentors to show up, and then we're gonna start setting up.
After we were able to get the gates open and everyone had showed up as far as my group was concerned, we immediately got to work by setting up the coffee table and Gatorade table, where we cleaned out the Gatorade jugs, filled them with fresh water, filled the coffee pot with fresh water, and set out cups and packets for everyone to use. Afterwards, we headed back to the trailer and we picked up 4 bags of helmets, elbow pads, and knee pads, where we took them to a manual pad and set them up for the kids to pick out and choose to use, if they chose so, to use during the entirety of the clinic. After that, we moved on to our last destination, the sign-in sheet table. This would be where all the merchandise would be sold and all the people who were volunteering as well as participating would sign in. After we were done, we were all able to get a Healing Hearts Skateboarding Skate MD t-shirt.
Different kids, so if any possible, I'm going to be floating around to everybody and trying to help as many as I can. But if you have definitely struggling, come find me and I'll make sure to get time for you guys. So it's all about fun for us as well as for them. So, all right, let's do it.
After the speech from some of our mentors, my partners and I were free to roam the park and check out a lot of the artwork and obstacles that the park had available to us.
Go, Jaden!
This is Jaden. He was very camera shy, not wanting many videos of him recorded, but this is one of the few recordings he allowed me to do. He's a very loving, energetic, and funny 12-year-old boy who was diagnosed with SMS. It is a developmental disorder that affects many parts of the body. Even with these setbacks, he found a way to enjoy skating. He loved to slide down the ramps and eat snacks most of the time.
Is that a cat?
I'm gonna slide down real quick with her. Ready? Elena, I'm good.
This energetic little girl hero's name is Elena. She's 9 years old and was diagnosed with mild autism and ADHD. This made it almost difficult to keep up with her at times, as she was extremely energetic and always ready to go to the next obstacle. We spent the duration of the time at the clinic together, pushing around circles in the clinic so that we could see who could complete the most laps. Elena had already had pushing down from the numerous skate clinics she had attended before, but towards the end of the skate clinic didn't care so much about skating so much as she did about pushing me around, which I found pretty amusing, and as did her mom, who was able to snag a good amount of pictures during the process.
This is my skate buddy Alejandro. He's a very energetic and courageous kid with very supportive parents. Alejandro was born with ADHD, so he would have some problems with paying attention at times. It was very easy to teach him because he was very excited to skate and was pretty much up for anything. I would hold his hand and ride with him, but shortly after would allow him to roll on his own as he had participated in these clinics before. Occasionally my buddy would take breaks, and head on over to the snack table and refresh with a drink.
And so the second clinic went a lot like the first, except in the morning with setup, we had the additional help of a lot of our friends who needed their 5-hour volunteer hours for their second semester assignment.
For the second clinic, instead of having a mentor, I was assigned a skate buddy with my group member Jacob. Together we were assigned Emilio as our skate buddy. Emilio was born with autism and was extremely used to being babied by his family.
And so despite having extremely supportive parents, this was the #1 issue that they wanted us to tackle. And so we were able to do so and get Emilio to ride on his own and even up and down some ramps by the end of the clinic. Afterwards, we headed over to the arts and crafts table where we were able to get this picture of Emilio drawing a bunny for our buddy Sebastian. Emilio wasn't too big on pictures, but his parents were completely okay with it. Afterwards, we headed to our last obstacle, the slug rail, a low-bearing rail that tested what the kids had learned for the day. After Emilio completed the rail, we headed over to the lunch table where we met up his parents and said our goodbyes.
For the second day, my skate buddy was my good friend Oliver. Oliver is 9 years old and was diagnosed with mild autism. At first when he arrived, he was very shy, but throughout the time we spent together, he came out his shell more and more. He came to the clinic with his father, who was with us while we were working with his son. He used to skate when he was younger, so he was excited to teach his son how to skate. Oliver had been to the skate clinic more than 10 times, and was excited to learn more skate tricks. My partner for Oliver had been to the skate clinic many times, and Oliver was one of the most adventurous kids he has ever partnered up with. Sometimes Oliver was even hard to keep up with. We always had to keep an eye on him. He mostly enjoyed laying on the board and flying down huge ramps. He was very adventurous. He kept wanting to go up bigger and bigger ramps until it became too dangerous for him to go through. The medic of Skate MD had to tell him he couldn't go down huge ramps that he really wanted to go down. Many people even surrounded him each time we went down the ramps because of how cool he was going down. At the end, me and Oliver became friends and had a good time at Skate MD.
This is Ashar, my 15-year-old buddy. He loves sports as he participates in many events that involves activities such as soccer, bowling, volleyball, skating, and basketball. He was diagnosed with autism, and this was his second time participating at the clinic. Even though it was only his second time, he was well known around the park for having such a loving and open personality. With my mentors, we successfully showed him how to push and go slightly up ramps. He also loves to eat lots of snacks, and his favorite food is pizza. Asar is truly a good kid with a kind heart who I was able to meet through such a beautiful project that is one of a kind.
Yeah, I'm pretty glad we chose this topic, mostly because it's something that we're all kind of connected to with like skating and stuff like that.
So that means you still care about this project, or would you like do it again in the future?
Well, on my own choice,
Yeah.
if I had to choose to do it again,
Yeah.
probably wouldn't, because I wouldn't do a senior project again.
Okay.
Wait, but if we had to do a senior project again or something, then yes, I would choose this again because this was actually kind of fun.
As far as changing myself goes, I realize I'm pretty gifted, honestly, to not have any predisposition to mental illness as on the same scale as these kids. And also, honestly, and it might sound morbid, but just to have all 4 working limbs and to be able to just pick up a skateboard and get on it and ride around. And I'm so very much more appreciative than I was at the beginning of this.
I like to make a comment about how I felt during this. I thought the senior project would be like just a tedious, annoying project, but by the end of it, I kind of just realized how much of an impact we were having on our community, and also I would also want to do it again since by the end of it, I felt like I was making a big impact on our community and some of the kids we were dealing with.
I'd say the senior project itself, the activity that we did was quite easy because it involved something that we enjoyed doing. Just the fact that we had to complete everything by certain deadlines made it, really difficult. And, overall, I just feel like we kind of got more involved in our community. And we thought about usually when we think about our community, we don't really think about the disabled community. So it was kind of like, really good to, interact with them and, kind of help them in a sense.